Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It is September 11th, 9/11 today, Thursday. So we will remember those that did lose their lives during 9/11. That was some crazy stuff. I think everybody that was around during that time definitely remembers where they were. I definitely remember where I was that day. And I still remember to this day as clear as anything. And I didn't remember anything for a couple years, but I always remembered that where I was on 9/11. So definitely thinking about all those people that lost their lives innocently. It was a crazy, crazy day there. So here we go. We'll look and see how crazy the market's going to be. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning on this 9/11? It is a green market there. It looks pretty good going into our CPI report this morning. So we'll see what happens, but it does look pretty good going in for more inflation. So I don't know how inflation is cruising there, but hey, I have no idea. But whatever, we'll keep the market rocking and rolling. That's what we want to see going into the rate cut for next week. And that is looking pretty good, I would say. And they changed around again, but I just don't think it could jump off a cliff and he could do it. He could pull a 0.50. Look at that thing. It keeps increasing there. Now it's at 20%. And it did crawl. I still think it's going to be a 0.25, but we'll see. I mean, it's getting pretty close as we get closer to that week. Next Wednesday, we'll definitely know what's going on there. As you know, I called the election, the popular vote that morning, and it was 75-25 Harris to Trump. And I said it was going to be 100% Trump and 0 Harris, and that's exactly what it was. So these charts do not lie, so we'll keep an eye on it and check that out as well and see how that's going to be. That rate cut there, we'll be able to tell just from the poly market. And so here we go. Let's get cruising through. We'll look and see what our Jolie's jumpers are. And remember what Laptop Travel said last night, AIRE, and it did pop up this morning. I definitely saw that early. And Bitfarms is still running up, thanks to Doge Mama 9 right there. And BWEN, Broadwind right here, did have a nice little spike. Let's see what that did. BWRN, what was it? What the heck was it? BWEN. That's what it is. And that did spike yesterday and then ran a little bit today. So there you go for that one. And let's see what EDHL is doing. That one was spiking up yesterday. And watch that, a little bit of pullback right there. And it could run up. GMM right here, Global MoFi AI. And this thing took a really big spike this morning, $3 to 11.19. Look at that thing. And these things, that ran really fast. I can tell just by looking at that. And HTOO right here is trying to was bouncing up a little healthy bounce up this morning and definitely pull back there. So that one we will have to look at to see if it wants to bounce back. OPAD, I know this has been running around up here. That could get ready to curl back up. I'd have to look at it today. It's just in that one spot where it could pull itself up and roll off right there. And Open Door, we knew that was running up this morning. It was running up yesterday in the after hours. And RZLV, I think that's what Resolve or something. Yep, Resolve AI. And this thing had shot up there yesterday. That one could be pulling back and be topped out there. And Treasure Global, TGL right here, that was popping up. We saw that yesterday as well. And of course, we looked at Vince, and Vince Holding was jumping up, and we mentioned that last night. And there you go. That had a big spike there this morning. I saw that. And Wheeler right here, WHLR. And this guy is trying to cruise up. Remember, we were looking at it the other day. It was looking good. It was running up a little bit more. And the wearable devices was running some more this morning. Didn't get as high up as yesterday, but it was a good run around there. And XTKG right here, X3 Holdings. And that one was spiking up this morning. And that could be a really good setup happening. So there you go with your Jolie's jumpers, and thank you very much, Asian Jolie. Good morning, Luis Rodriguez and everybody else. SMCI creeping up there. CRWV and Tesla are both up as well. And that core weave right here, we'll take a quick look at it. And that is jumping up a little bit more right there. And what is Tesla doing? That is up too. So there you go. Looking pretty good. Good morning, Doge Mama 9. And everybody else, Laptop Travel and the whole crew. And let's go ahead. We'll look at our SPY, our big caps, our Mag 7, everybody else. But the market is pretty green going in the CPI right there. And it says stocks rise ahead of CPI with Fed rates in view. I said something like that this morning. I didn't even look at these. Another day, another AI record, and Oracle, I think, did something that all never was done before. And one Wall Street bank is reinstating its bullish S&P 500 target CPI report today. Dow futures edge up ahead of August inflation data, and the high stakes CPI inflation report is on deck. And what to watch, so we'll have to see what kind of reaction we have to that. And here we go. Let's go ahead and look at our SPY Mag 7, everybody else, see what's going on here. And let's see what we can pick out and what looks good. Our SPY doesn't look bad. It's just, I mean, it's green. It's there. It crossed through the MACD. It's looking healthy. Could it have a little bit of pullback today? It absolutely could. It could pull itself, but it did roll right through. And we'll see if it wants to keep itself there at 8:30 after the CPI report. That's going to be the teller, and what tells if it's going to really get popping or not. So, and then obviously rates are coming up next week, but it could get really fired up. I mean, it might not be a bad thing for it to have a little bit of pullback, but it's just ripping along here, as you can see. But you can see it runs up, little pullback, runs up, little pullback. It's been kind of consistently doing it right now. So I could see a little tiny pullback going into the rates and then boom, right off of there. I could see that happening just looking at the chart ahead of time. But again, we'll be able to tell a little bit better in about an hour and a half or so. So we'll keep an eye on that, and let's go ahead and check out what our Mag 7 is doing. And here you go. Apple is trying to recoup itself right there. So it might be dipping down a little bit more. It may stair step down. We'll see how much it can really get curling today to try to stop itself. And Amazon right here sitting in a good spot, and that one should try to roll off, I would assume. I don't think that wants to come through, but again, we have to look and see what this report looks like. I know I was looking at it earlier, and it already looked like it wanted to roll off of there. But like I said, we'll have to keep an eye on it after 8:30. Google's way at the top. I would assume Google would pull back before so, and then get set back up to rip. So that's what I would assume. And Meta right here is getting set up. I know it had a nice dip yesterday, so I think Meta was setting up perfectly to get ripping. Same with Microsoft, already came down there. Now it looks a little bit better. It can get really set up right there. And NVIDIA, basically the same thing. It jumped up yesterday with Oracle, and then it looks pretty good this morning. So it's trying to rip up there. It could stay down a little bit, but it already jumped up on that 20, and then things aren't looking too bad there. It has some good support. So NVIDIA is probably going to be pretty healthy there. And Tesla, we looked at, and it was already up, and it's cruising over 351, almost 352 at the moment there for TSLA. And how about your AMC right here? That thing looks like it's definitely getting set up. That looks really good. Remember, we were talking about that before. That looks good. And how about GameStop pulling back right there after it ran up on earnings? We said it had looked good for the earnings, and it did run up, and now it's pulling back. Chewy, big dip yesterday, and right down to that support line. So check that out right there. We'll have to see if it holds itself. It could come back down a little bit more. I know it has that support down here in the 30s. It's at 35.56 or so right now for CHWY and Unity right here. That was pulling back a little bit, and that one could have a little pullback to try to roll off. And Netflix had been pulling back, but sitting in a pretty good spot right there to get set up. And what about AVGO? It's up a little bit more this morning. So there you go. AVGO. It's not, I thought it was going to keep a little more momentum from yesterday. As a matter of fact, it looked like it wanted to. And what is Adobe doing right there? That's ripping along, and that looks really good, guys. We had already talked about Adobe before. And there you go. It is setting up to get cruising as well. And that's ADBE. And let's go ahead and look at MU right here. That was up a little bit from yesterday, and that jumped up some more. So that is looking pretty good right there. TSM right here had a big run up yesterday, a little flat at the top. That could get pushed into the top right there. And of course, SMCI is trying to get turned back around. It had that nice dip down, and that is getting set up into that channel and looking pretty decent right there for SMCI. And AMD is definitely going to be getting set up. Just let it pull back right here. Let that 20 come down. You can see it might not be ready just yet to get through, but that's going to be a great opportunity. You know, AMD is going to get ripping right there. And let's take a look at our QCOM right here. And let's see, it is hitting a little resistance at the moment. So just let it get pushed through. It has a little channel it wants to get into right there, and then it'll jump up. So that's what we're looking at on QCOM. And how about Snow right here trying to get cruising? That will definitely get rolling and curl right off and roll right off that MACD for Snow. And PayPal had been getting set up again after that dip down, so you might be bottomed out. We'll keep an eye on it because it did pull back, and we'll see how this, like I said, we'll see the reaction at 8:30 and see what's going on, and we'll go from there. But we just got to go through and see what's going on at the moment. Intel, and they don't look bad, obviously, going into the report. Usually things look terrible when they're going in if they're going to be bad. So Intel right here, even holding itself up, and could have some pullback right there. I'm telling you, some healthy pullback wouldn't be bad for them going into next week's rate cuts, because they can get cruising. Dell is looking pretty good right there. SMCI, that's going to run up too. I would say Kramer might be on to something right there, because Dell is looking a little bit better at the moment. So we've been talking about that lately, because Kramer did say he liked Dell over SMCI, and in the beginning, well, SMCI, the day he said it, it jumped up. And again, we look at these things all the time. I don't know how long he's looking out and seeing what his his predictions are and how far out. But that day, and then the very next day, SMCI went ripping. So I'm telling you what they look like on the daily here. I don't know what the heck he was predicting. But anyway, there you go. And Dell is not looking too bad right there. It looks like it might have bottomed out. We'll see if it can cross through right there, but it's sitting in a pretty decent spot, I must say. And let's see what else is going on here now that I just lost my spot. But I know IBM is next right there. And like I said, IBM might try to get pushed right through that 50 as well. It's not looking bad right there. I thought it might have some pullback and a little bit better pullback right there, but it's actually not looking too bad pushing up onto that 50. So we'll see what happens with IBM. And PLTR right here, good old Palantir, is trying to, I'm telling you, this thing's getting ready to get fired back up right there. So keep your eyes on Palantir. And Sophie right here, that's looking really good, guys. Sophie is looking pretty healthy right there, I must say. And we know Mara and Riot were getting set up right there, and you can still see them getting set up. Riot was looking a little bit better, still moving up a little bit this morning. It got right into the top right there, as a matter of fact. So there you go with Riot. And MicroStrategy is starting to look a little better for that curl up, and obviously our crypto is looking pretty good. Robinhood, not too bad right there. They had that Robinhood event the other night. I forgot to mention that yesterday. I don't know if anybody was paying attention the other night and watched that. What was it, Sunday night? I don't even remember, guys. The days are like, I feel like maybe it was Monday night. Yeah, maybe it was Monday night. They had that Robinhood event, and they actually announced some pretty cool features. But then they actually announced Robinhood Social. I don't think it's going to be very big, to be completely honest with you. I don't think these people realize what the social media for like FinTwit really includes, and it is in like what the future is going to be. I just don't get why nobody really sees it. And I'm obviously not giving it away for free. I gave enough away for free. I changed StockTwit's entire company. You guys know that story. And all I asked was to do one show on their stupid live stream thing on their spaces, and I never even got a call back. I changed the entire company around. They weren't doing nothing over there until I reached out to them and said, "Hey guys, what the hell are you doing? You have like 1 million followers, and I don't understand how you're not monetizing this. This is what you should do." And I explained it all to Shiv, who is the president of the company. I even explained it to the owner and the founder. Why can't I think of his name? Holy shit. Howard Lizon. I went blank there. But yeah, Howard, I explained it to him and he was like, yeah, talk to Shiv. I talked to him. And I tell you the story. Tommy got fired. I feel bad for him. And Alyssa came in. I know the whole entire company like the back of my hand, guys. I know it better than all of them. And so, yeah, I was the one that told them everything to do to change the company cadence. And good morning to you. And then I went ahead because I love FinViz, and then but they're awesome. They actually like say, yeah, you're absolutely right. You gave us a lot of great ideas, and we really appreciate it. So I appreciate FinViz at least saying, and that's all I asked for. I just told StockTwits here, this is what you need to do to monetize the company and make it way better onto another level. If I could do my spaces on their show because you have 1 million followers, and nobody was doing a spaces on the show at that time, not one. I'm like, how are you guys not doing anything over here? And then look at what they're doing now, all kinds of stuff. I don't know how I got axed out of it. I was the one that told them everything. But anyway, honestly, that site's not even that great anymore. It's just too much spam and just nonsense going on, and I just don't think these people see the real future. And again, not giving it out. And so yeah, Robinhood, and I know Howard's a huge investor in Robinhood, so it makes sense right there that they would do it and kind of use stuff off of StockTwits because he's like one of the venture capitalists in Robinhood and one of the early guys. But yeah, I get it. But again, I don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know how they're monetizing these things. They're spending tons of money on these things, and they're just not monetizing them. StockTwits wasn't doing anything, guys. I mean, it was crazy. They had like one employee, and they didn't. I don't know what was going on. And then I literally changed. They have like a ton of people working there now, and all kinds of shit going on. And again, I don't know how I got pushed out. I gave him every idea for months and months there, and talked to Shiv one-on-ones and everything else. So maybe I'll clip this conversation and I'll post it and tag it to Howard there, and he can actually know what really happened because that's what happened. And I told them all, and everybody know. I have all the messages. I have everything. You guys know I write everything down. I have all the correspondence and everything I told them. But anyway, we won't go on for that one. But yeah, Robinhood announced the Robinhood Social is what I was getting to. And I just don't see it being big. And I see them pumping a lot of money into it. And I mean, they have it to pump in. It's not a big deal for them. They're making it all internal. But it just isn't. I mean, they're all trying to compete with X for one. And they're just missing the biggest element that anybody cares about. I don't get it, and nobody sees it, and it's so easy, guys. It's real easy, and you guys know I know this industry, I know the space, and I obviously have given everybody a lot of ideas, so I know what's going on. And yeah, I just don't understand how they're all missing the biggest element in there. And there's another big, huge. I told you before, there's a huge company doing it, and I told them, guys, if you want to consult with me, you let me know. I have access to it already early, and it's still not rolled out. I actually just hit the guy up that's in charge of the project the other day. I just seen he email me back, and I didn't even look at it. But I told him, guys, if you want to know what to do, just tell me. I'll consult with you. I'm not giving the stuff away for free anymore. It's just not happening. StockTwits obviously rubbed me the wrong way, clearly. So yeah, everybody else is not getting free stuff. FinViz, I'll hook them up, and a couple other people that I like. But that's about it. And you guys know I have mad ideas all the time. They just come to me like it's like a Rolodex. It's crazy. I could give every company ideas of how to run their things better. But I mean, we don't have this time to do it all. Anyway, let's go back to our list. But I just don't understand. They're all trying to do the exact same thing and compete against each other. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm in the space, guys. I obviously know it. I've been doing it for a while now, too. And yeah, I don't get it. So anyway, that's Coinbase, and they're looking pretty good right now. So That looks like it's going up. But yeah, Robinhood had their Robinhood event the other night. And again, they have other awesome features. I'm not going to say Robinhood's not good. I like it. It's good. It's a good platform, and they just rolling out some great features. I just don't understand the social media aspect and what everybody's doing, and they're all just doing it wrong, and it's just crazy to me. But what do I know, guys? Who knows? Anyway, Bull sitting down here, just kind of hanging out, waiting to get set up. And Space, let's see what that's up to. I'm telling you, Space is getting set up. That one's going to be a really good one. You can get in probably early, watch for dips. And Boeing pulling back a little bit, but I think that's getting set up. You can kind of see it wanted to get set up there a little bit better, and it was pulling back, but it will get pretty good. And Boeing Defense Union reached a tentative deal. It had a strike go. That's why it wasn't ripping. I could tell something was going on there. That's what, you know how often I scroll down. So yeah, Boeing had something going on, and they had a strike happening. So it'll probably get turned around if they can get all that straightened out. I had no idea. Just looking at the chart, I could see something happening there. And DJT is setting up right there. We've been saying it, and Fun was getting ready to rip, and just a little healthy pullback at the moment. And how about your McDonald's? It took a nice dip there, and it's hitting the 50, and it might bounce back. We'll look at it and see if it wants to stay up there in the 50. And Disney's actually a nice opportunity pulling back. That was getting really set up there. Something happening over here as well. I'll have to look into it because it looks like it's going to be pulling back, and it was really setting up there for Disney. So something going on there. Oxy right there, down just a hair, but sitting on that trend line, not bad. And how about your Exxon Mobil right there? Just a little bit of healthy pullback. And there you go. And I'll tell you which one's going to be a great opportunity. This one took a huge dip after a big old run up right there, and got the chart got reset up, guys. And that 20 is going to ride up. This one's going to be another great opportunity down here. It's lower than it was yesterday at 173 for RBNE. So definitely keep an eye on that one for a second go right there. And we'll keep an eye on this TMD because it's trying to roll. And Gush isn't going to be moving, but it was looking good yesterday running up there. And there you go with them. What's that NXTT doing? That's not looking too bad this morning. Just sitting there a little bit flat. And EPIX right here. Let's see what that's doing. And that's curling up, actually not too bad there. So definitely keep an eye. Had that nice dip, probably a good dip and rip look right there. So there you go. And we know Open was running up last night, and it is running up a little bit more this morning right there. And what else is happening? Let's see what you guys are looking at. And crypto is up too real quick. Let's see what's happening. Bitcoin's at 113. It was at 114 last night, and it was hitting that 50, and it is hitting the 50. You have a little healthy pullback. That'll be fine. And again, they're getting ready for next week. Ethereum just getting set up. You could still have a little bit of pullback there, and it'll be perfectly fine getting set up. And Solana's just been ripping. It's at 225. And there goes Ripple right here. That one wants to rip as well. And let's see what else is going on here with Stellar. And that one is trying to curl up. And Link, hold on. Let me see what you need, buddy? You okay? Are you all right, bud? Okay. Just making sure. I'll be up in a few minutes. My little guy is sitting right by the door, and I thought he needed something, but he's good. He's pretty good now. He like dresses himself and everything, and getting to be big at 5 years old. It's kind of crazy. How about that? And they grow up super fast. And oh yeah, I just wanted to make sure he's all good. It's crazy in my house every morning. I'm not gonna lie, with school and everything, everyone running around like maniacs. So anyway, there you go. And let me run through the news. And the crypto is getting set up there. ETF was up a little bit more, so it's looking good. And I believe we're going to do a show tonight at 7 p.m. And I think we're right at that time where we really need to get it moving, guys. So I think we're going to try to piece together everything, get it cruising, get a plan. And well, we have a plan already. Just get everybody on the right page, and we can really get that thing bumping. And I'm telling you, it is such a great opportunity that you could make a bunch of money. It is super, super cheap, and it has to get rolling, and it'll be beautiful. So there you go with that. And Sam said he wants me to pick a ticker every morning and say we all go full port on it. That's honestly, Sam. We were doing it there at night for a little while, and Laptop Travel's been throwing out some beauties right there. They've been running hardcore at like 4 a.m. and then you got to kind of reevaluate what's going on in the market real quick. But we do see everything that's going to be popping early. It's been pretty it's been pretty obvious right now for whatever reason, and it's all kinds of things like that. Vince was running last night or this morning, and that AIRE, there was a few of them that were jumping up, and then I kind of have to come back on and reevaluate things. But yeah, we can try to look at things and see what the heck's going on. I try to save them, and again, I am better at the setups than I obviously see these poppers, but I see the setups before they really happen. And then these things are just been momentum plays, to be honest with you. They just start getting cruising there, low floaters, and just start rocking and rolling with some volume. And then they get short squeezed, is what's happening every single time. I don't know how long the shorts are going to keep trying to do it because they must be getting toasted. It's crazy how much these are running up. I mean, they do come back down, but they do get they definitely get short squeeze. Sam said he may name his next kid Laptop Travel. That's so great there, Sam. What a awesome thing to say. So there you go. That's nice there, Laptop Travel. And yeah, you've been hitting some bangers out in the morning. It's been awesome in the 4 a.m. Like I said, even the 4 a.m. you don't have to be. They move fast, so I'm trying to see how we can still have them opportunities all the time. So I've been getting up, trading, and seeing what happens after the fact too, so that we can get ready and see the best way to do it. Teva right here, Cadence. Let's look at this one, TEVA right here, and let's see what's going on. Just a little pullback, but you'll probably get bouncing off that line. Let me take a better look at TEVA right here. It did run up a little healthy pullback. It just looks pretty healthy. It looks like it's going to stay up on that MACD and continue its way up is what it looks like right there. And LTT right here, what is that? LTTI, right? LTTI right there. This one, oh yeah, look at that thing. That 20-year Treasury ETF, if that's what you're talking about. I'm not sure, but that thing isn't looking too bad right there to curl up, as a matter of fact. So that's not looking bad. And these are unprecedented times, so many opportunities. You're not kidding. It's crazy. And our Pew was running up yesterday. It ran up a little bit more this morning, as you can see. And that's a little bit of healthy pullback. Nothing crazy. That'll continue its way up. SNPS, is that what that one is? And let's see, that looks like it's trying to get set up down here. Let me take a SNPS. There we go. Yeah, synopsis or something. And that had a huge dip on earnings. Let's keep an eye on that bad boy. Not familiar with it, but let me jot that down real quick. And we'll keep an eye on that thing. It is having a little bounce. I was going to say it is bouncing up there. Whether it's going to have a huge bounce, I don't know. It may continue its way up. Just be careful. I don't know if it's going to run all the way up there, but it isn't looking bad. SNPS right there. And let's see what else is going on. Oh, LTT for Laptop Travels. There you go. That's pretty funny, Luis Rodriguez. I was like, LTT, what is he talking about? And that is funny. You know, things go right over my head sometimes. And anyway, and let's start here. CoreWeave, Tesla up. SMCI was creeping up there. Hertz right there. I knew there was one up here that I was missing. And it is Hertz right here. And it's sitting in a pretty good spot. You're going to get rolling back up. It's just getting ready to do it. As you can see, a little healthy pullback. So that'll get cruising back up there and setting up for a big move. I would say so. And Adobe's looking good. And obviously, never forget 9/11 is today. So never forget the people of 9/11. I spoke about that at the very beginning. Coinbase setting up right there. Futures are green and an hour away from the the PPI report, right? Is it CPI report? I'm confused with both of them when they're back to back all the time. But anyway, CPI. And here you go. IVVD running up a little bit more right there. And let's see. Another China rotation and Bora pump and dump rotation this morning. So there you go. And PAL chart is starting to look. that thing's been looking good. Is that what you were just saying? I looked down. Pal chart since July has been magnificent. Yeah, that thing's been looking pretty good. I know we've been going over that. And Laptop Travel did do a special newsletter article, a tribute to 9/11 fallen victims and heroes, and it's free for anyone to read. So he thinks it tells a heartfelt story and hopefully delivers some pride in America. So very nice. I'll be checking that out. And let's see what else is going on right here. And I think we got to everything. And hold on, let me take a look and make sure that we did. And we didn't miss anything over here. And let me just see real quick. Open Doors up over 8 right now. And there's that YYGH. That's down there trying to bounce back up, a Singapore company. We look at Treasure Global and Vince right there. And let AIRE and Wearable Devices. And Wolf right here. That Wolfspeed is trying to get bouncing again. This MGIH has been running around a lot lately. Keep an eye on that. There's your NXTT down a little bit right at the moment, but still curling up right there. Mogu was up a little bit. That took a nice dip. LGCL. I know what else was up this morning that I saw. SBET, right? Or not SBET. That was up also, but RCAT, that's what it was. RCAT was up this morning pretty good as well. So there you go. I would say that's a pretty good pre-market review. And just to, if you guys see my post from last night, I was, real quick story, Facebook. You know, I know the Stern crew pretty well. They've mentioned me on the air before a couple times, and I know everybody inside of there. I was a huge fan. Used to do some shows for them, and on Facebook, I ended up being friends with the dude Craig Gass. He's a comedian. He does impressions on there, and he's always been pretty political on his posts, which I don't care. He's Democratic, and he always has Democratic posts and whatever. Like I said, it's what it is. What it is. You like what you like, and he's always arguing with people, and then I find it kind of comical, so that's why I continued to follow him. And yesterday, he definitely insinuated that Trump had something to do with the Charlie Kirk shooting, and on a post, and so I immediately called him out on it, and I was like, dude, that's pretty, that's not exactly what happened, and I posted it all. He took down the post. I called him right out on it, guys, and then he started like battling back and forth and arguing with me, and then he always goes, oh, I'll bet you all this money. First off, he don't have that much money. He does impressions for a living. I mean, he doesn't make that much. Let's face it. He's on the Stern show, and it's at its lowest ratings ever. And again, I was a huge Stern fan. I stopped listening during COVID. He went completely woke, and the show is horrible now. So it is just what it is, and I'm not the only one that feels that way. He has his lowest audience ever. I mean, he barely has like 20,000 people listening a day on Sirius. It's pretty crazy, and he used to have 1 million. I'm not even kidding. So it's a pretty big drastic drop. So yeah, join the show when they don't have any numbers. Good idea. But anyway, anybody that wants to say things like that, or they need to be called out. That's what needs to be happening nowadays. So I had no problem calling them out, and then I posted it on X for them so everybody could see. But yeah, what a weirdo. I mean, this guy, all these people that think that, Trump has something to do with it and is insinuating violence all the time. These people are insane, guys. They obviously don't see what goes on in real life and in society, and they're whacked out of their minds. And I think they need to be told that they're nuts, because clearly people are crazy nowadays, and we see what goes on. But yeah, that's what that was about. And he insinuated, he literally was saying, follow the leader. Like he insinuated that it was because of Trump. And I called him right out, and he deleted the post, and I was like, I'm 100% right what I said to him. And Matthew Dowd was fired overnight for inappropriate comments about Kirk, and he's one of the biggest douchebags on MSNBC. They're all douchebags on there, I agree. But yeah, so anyway, that was the point of the story and why I posted it out there. Anyone that wants to be an idiot and post dumb shit like that, call them right out for it. Let them get fired or do whatever. I don't care. I mean, Greg Gass, he works for Howard Stern, who's the most woke person in America. So he's not getting fired, and I don't really give a shit one way or the other. But I saw that post immediately. I was like, nah, you're not going to put that on a public social media, and I'm not going to rip you apart. And I ripped him apart. And then he, oh yeah, I bet you all this money you can't find any post on my. I don't need to go ahead and do research, retard. I already know what you post all the time, and I'm calling you out. I just asked you 20 times to explain why you deleted the post and why you insinuated that Trump was behind the shooting, like it was his fault. That's what I asked. That was my original question. And he tried to spin it 50 different ways. And I said to him, dude, you're not cutting it, buddy, and you're not funny. I don't care what anyone thinks. And that's how it worked, guys. So that's what that was about. And yeah, it's no more. I don't care. I will call people out. You know, immediately I will call you out. And so he got ripped apart on social media, on his Facebook, and then I posted it for all you guys to see it on X. And I couldn't wait for him to go on his X account and see it. But anyway, let me wrap up and get rolling here. And Gap is looking pretty good up at the top. It could gap up right there, Cadence. And SKBL, let me look at a couple quick ones right here. That Skyline, oh, that thing's been ripping up there. You've been all over that. Now, that SATS is a way to get into SpaceX, but it might have to pull back a little bit. And SNES, Ben did the interview with the CEO yesterday. Seems like it was a month ago now. And so check that out, a little pullback in that YAAS right here is getting set up after that dip. So there you go, everybody. Greatly appreciate everybody hanging out, of course. And of always, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Be sure to follow along on X and YouTube and all that good stuff, and Instagram. And that is what we have for this morning. Deep Laptop Travel said is Deep Scanners actually search chatter beyond just technical charts. So they're not just the setups right there. So yeah, he looks for some chatter as well, which is always good right now because, like I said, these momentum plays are getting wild. So there you go, everybody. And be sure to trade smart, lock in your profits. Any questions, let me know. And there you go. So goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day. And there's Michael Anthony. I can't really answer you, Michael Anthony. I gotta hop out, but we'll check that out. Kroger, I think KR is, and we'll look at it later. I'll be on tonight. So have a good day, everybody, and I will see you guys later.